Have you wanted to study in the US but are worried about the safety incidents or news coming from there? I totally get it. It's appearing that US is becoming increasingly unsafe for immigrants or Indians. And so that is the topic I wanted to cover today, because I do get a lot of queries from students themselves and also from parents who are planning to send their kids abroad for study. So is US safe anymore? Should you be considering to study there? While it is very difficult for me or anybody to predict where the next crime will happen or where it will not happen, what I thought I'll do in this video is to present you some information which will help you make the study abroad decision more comfortably and peacefully in your mind. So what I'm going to talk about is what locations have been deemed safer, what locations have been deemed most dangerous in the US, and so that you can plan your university or college selection accordingly. I will get into 3 lists on the other side of this intro. Keep watching. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Nishta from Scholar Strategy and 24 North Star. We post a lot of career advice for young students, young professionals and even mid-career professionals, but we do specialize in study abroad, especially in US. Okay, so coming back to today's video topic, it is a very serious topic because I do take safety very seriously, and it is sad to see that a non-trivial number of incidents have been reported in the US lately around, call it hate crime or other sort of crimes against immigrants. So what I'm going to do in today's video is I want to cover 3 lists. Number 1 is 10 most dangerous states. Second is 10 safest states in the US according to crime data. And lastly, location of crimes against Indian students. So as I said, just use this data to make your decisions in a more informed manner. Now let's take a look at our first list. As per Forbes, these are 10 most dangerous states in the US. And note that this is not from an Indian perspective. These crimes, we are not talking about dangerous or safe from the perspective of Indians only. These are the states which have reported highest number of violent crimes per capita. So here's the list, and what you will note here is that a lot of these states are from southern part of the US. Here goes the list. Number 1 is New Mexico. I have checked all the list. New Mexico is the number 1 most crime prone state in the US. Then we have Arkansas. Number 3 is Louisiana. Number 4 is Colorado, and yes, you will see that I have mentioned CU Boulder and CU Denver in some of my university lists because those are pretty good, decent, good ROI universities in my opinion. But yes, overall Colorado has been reported to have one of the higher crime rates in the US. Next, number 5 is California. And this is not surprising because you might have also heard of how a lot of homeless people are there in San Francisco these days because the real estate prices have shot so high, the rents are so high, a lot of homeless people are there and they sometimes resort to crime, mugging, etc., which is making California one of the unsafer states in the US. Number 6, we have Tennessee. Number 7, we have Missouri. 8 is South Carolina, number 9 is Nevada, and 10 is Alaska. So apart from Colorado and California, other states do not have as many good universities in any case. So yes, if you want to skip them or be more cautious about choosing universities there, you can do so. So by the way, this list is according to Forbes. Now let's look at the 10 safest states in the US. Again, these are the states with least number of violent crimes per capita. This has nothing to do with Indians in particular. So as you can see, there is a very clear trend here. New England and the northeast part of the US is one of the safest place to visit or live. And this includes New Hampshire, Maine, Rhode Island, Connecticut, etc. And New Jersey also. Let's look at the list in the detail. Number 1 most safest state is New Hampshire. And it's very pretty also. Number 2 is Maine. Number 3 is Idaho. Number 4 is Rhode Island. By the way, Rhode Island is where Brown University is located. Number 5 is Connecticut, and in Connecticut I have sometimes mentioned University of Connecticut is in some of my lists. Number 6 is New Jersey. New Jersey is home to some great universities like Princeton, Rutgers. It also has Stevens, NJIT, a lot of Indians studying there. So New Jersey is fairly safe state to be in. Then we have Kentucky, number 8 is Massachusetts, and Boston is here with some of the world's best universities like MIT, Harvard, and also other good universities very popular among Indians like Northeastern and BU. Then we have number 9 West Virginia, number 10 Iowa, and in Iowa both Iowa State University and University of Iowa are fairly good. So among these states, I think yes, there are some good universities that you can consider applying to if safety is your concern. Now I want to look at the third list in my agenda today, and that is the crimes that have happened against Indians in 2024. And honestly, I'm not going to get into the gruesome detail of it. It doesn't help anybody. But what I want to do is just look at the location of these crimes, and if these were students, then which university did they belong to. So the crime that really shook me was when that Seattle cop struck and killed a 23-year-old Indian girl. I think Janvi was the name. That crime was really, really horrible. I don't know what kind of a sick person he was, and I know that he was fired later on, but I think that a more stringent action should have been taken against him, and more severe punishment. Definitely he deserves much more severe punishment. So these are the kind of crimes that really make me sad about US these days. And yes, it was just a horrible crime, and like I can totally, like, you know, I can't even imagine what the state of the parents would be when they see things like this happening in US. So this is really unfortunate. So coming back to our list, yes, some of these crimes have happened against Indians. So when I compiled this data, I saw that by the end of April, there had been death of around 14 Indians in the US, and 8 of these had been somewhat of an unnatural death. Now then we had cases of 2 Indians who went missing in May, and while I have not been able to find data beyond that, there was also a news of an Indian woman who was fatally shot in June, but that was done by another Indian origin man himself. So I'm not counting that as a hate crime. Also, I'm not counting the death of a student at UIUC because the cause there seemed to be hypothermia and it was not a criminal incident. So what I want to look at the instances or deaths of Indians where certain crime has been associated, and let's look at the location of those crimes. So in January, we saw crimes being reported against 2 students of Sacred Heart University, Fairfield, and this happened in Connecticut. So while we saw that Connecticut overall is a safe state, this particular incident happened in Connecticut. We saw death of 2 students from Purdue University, which is weird, in January and then in February. Both have not been solved so far. After that, we had an incident from student at Linder School of Business in Cincinnati, Ohio. Later, we had a PhD student's death in Boston, which seemed to be drug related. And then we have a kidnap case in Cleveland State University, Ohio. So again, second incident in Ohio. Another news was of a student from Concordia University in Wisconsin, but the crime itself happened in Chicago. Lastly, we have a case of missing student from California State University, San Bernardino, who was last seen in Los Angeles in California. So these are some of the places where dubious crimes have been reported against Indian students or like normal Indians in the US. I don't know what to make of this data. As I said, it cannot predict what will happen, but it can give you maybe some inkling of some locations where certain things have happened in the past. The idea is not to speculate what's going to happen, but just to present this information in case you want to consider this while making your university selection decisions. Do let me know if this video was helpful and any other questions you might have around safety issues in the US. By the way, I remember how I used to live in Urbana-Champaign myself. What are some of the safety precautions or best practices I used to follow when I was in US. So if you want to post me some safety tips or how to really prepare yourself mentally from safety perspective as you go to US, let me know in the comments. I'll be very happy to post that video. That's it, guys. Please take care and stay safe wherever you are. I know horrific crimes have been happening in India and other countries also. but there's no excuse, and I think the biggest onus is on the authorities. And while we cannot keep holding our breath for that to happen, let us be cautious from our side. Let us be very prudent in making, like, simple social decisions. Do not put yourself in situations that can jeopardize your safety. If you're heading to US, or if you're already in US, please take care, and tell me in the comments if you have heard of some unsafe situations around in your university campuses. This can help future students. So that's it. I will see you guys next week with another video. Until then, take care. Bye bye.